Alright, so today I thought I'd give you a closer look at Bobby, my bamboo ball python that is around my neck right here. Thought I'd dedicate an episode just to taking a closer look at Bobby. And Bobby is just a straight bamboo, no other genes in the mix. He's a pretty awesome snake. Take a look at Bobby. And kind of the interesting thing, take a look at the top of his head. He actually got these little spots right on the top of his head that he didn't have when he was a hatchling. And he kind of developed all those little spots, which is kind of interesting. He's got some pretty interesting eyes too, if you can see his eye color. I don't know, you try to do something with Bobby and he's pretty much got a mind of his own. He does pretty much whatever he wants to do. I can't really train Bobby to do any particular thing. He just kind of looks at whatever he wants to look at and pretty much does his own thing. Sometimes when I first got him up here in front of the camera, it was kind of interesting. He would always go right for the lens. He was really curious about that little black circle. I was wondering if he could like crawl inside of it or something, but I don't think he can. He kind of grew out of that phase. As a matter of fact, every time I pick up a snake and put him around my neck, they always go for the lens. They think it's like a little hole they can crawl into or something, which is kind of wild. And Bobby there's no other genes in Bobby, and kind of the interesting thing about a straight bamboo is if you actually take a look at the sides of them, usually bamboos have these heart patterns on the side of the snake where you have like a little heart right there on the sides. And usually if you take a look at bamboos, at the patterns on the sides, and if there's hearts on the sides, usually that's an indication that there is no other genes in the mix, which is kind of interesting that they have that pattern. And the other thing that's kind of interesting, if you actually take a look at his belly is super soft, almost like silky soft. You can almost see the sheen to it. Pretty amazing how soft and shiny his belly is. Kind of amazing. And that is Bobby, and he's been pretty much with me since, I think I got him when he was about 1,000 grams, maybe 1,200 grams or something like that. So he's probably at least double that, maybe almost triple. Take a look at how big he is. He is a really big snake. And it's pretty amazing how much he's really calmed down over the years. And the reason I got them, as a matter of fact, I actually got a whole collection of females. I think it was like 8 or 9 females. I was looking for something to breed, and I was looking all through Morphmarket. I was looking for something that wasn't in Colorado, something that no one had really seen before, that was, you know, kind of coming down in price. And I decided on the bamboo, which was a really good decision. As a matter of fact, when I produced my very first bamboos here in Colorado, I had my whole display full of bamboos and bamboo combos, and people were coming up to the table at the reptile show and they're like, what in the world is that gene? They had never seen bamboos. I was pretty sure I'm the only one who brought them to Colorado right at the beginning. And now you go to the shows in Colorado, there's like bamboos all over the place. It's kind of crazy. And bamboos used to be really super expensive. As a matter of fact, I saw a story where the very first bamboo sold for over $100,000, which is kind of crazy. And now you can pick them up for, you know, under 1,000. They're coming down. As a matter of fact, I think the bamboos are starting to go up in price, which is kind of unusual. I think it's because of Bobby. Everybody wants a bamboo that's kind of around my neck at the beginning of the video. It's kind of an interesting gene. And kind of the other thing about the bamboo is that it's in the blue-eyed leucistic complex. So if you mix it with any other genes, you end up with an all-white snake with blue eyes, which is kind of an interesting anomaly. And if you actually take a look at how thick Bobby is really super thick, especially like compared to my arm. Look at how thick he is. Super big. And he's back on food, eating almost every week now. And Bobby is pretty funny. He's just a ham in front of the camera. Pretty awesome ball python. And if you actually take a look at his eyes, see if you can see his eye color. It's kind of an interesting, some of the bamboo combinations have almost like a steel gray eye to them. And he has, I guess it's almost like a two-tone eye, where it's a little bit different on top of the head versus the bottom of the head. Look at that. He is so funny. He's so cute. He's got that white line right on top of his eye, which is pretty crazy. He's a pretty awesome snake. Never had any problems with them. And kind of the interesting thing about the bamboos is they're really aggressive feeders. Usually when they're hatchlings, it seemed like when he kind of got older in his old age, he kind of mellowed down on the food. He kind of hit this wall where he decided, all right, I'm not going to eat except once a month, which is kind of maddening, but he's really kept really good body condition, even eating once a month. He's actually started eating more than once, probably every week or every other week, and it seems like he's really starting to put on the weight since I actually started feeding him quite a bit more. And other than that, he's been, I'd say the other kind of weird characteristic about the bamboos is they're really aggressive breeders. I noticed that with Bobby here. It's kind of interesting. The first time I got him, I was like cycling all my males through all my females, and I'd actually go in like 2 days later with Bobby. It's usually like after 24 hours or 48 hours, and he would still be locked up with the females in a copulation, which is the only snake that I had in my collection that would really lock with the females and just stay locked for days and days. I don't know if it's a bamboo thing or if it was just kind of a weird anomaly with Bobby, but I thought that was kind of interesting with the whole bamboo gene. And the bamboo gene is, I'd say, it's kind of one of the more unique genes, especially if you mix it with pinstripe, which is probably my favorite combinations. The bamboo in combination with pinstripe can make some really metallic looking snakes, which is pretty awesome. And as far as kind of the other cool thing about the bamboo, so if you actually look at the pattern right on top of the snake, the very top of the pattern almost looks like spider, almost has this spider web pattern right down the top of the snake. So this is probably, I guess, as close as you can get with this to the spider without actually getting the problems with the head wobble. You know, a lot of people kind of shy away from the spiders from the head wobble. If you actually take a look at all of his pattern all the way down, he is a pretty amazing snake. Take a look at that. He's got the pattern all the way down, and then on the sides it comes up, it's kind of interesting. It's like a really high calico on the sides. It doesn't have any calico in it, but it's almost like a pseudo calico, almost looks like a spider. And kind of the weird thing is I bred Bobby to a whole bunch of females, and the offspring can be really variable. Sometimes you get a lot of that calico, and sometimes you'll get just a little bit of white coming up the side. Sometimes it's really super reduced. It's pretty amazing, the variability of the bamboo. As a matter of fact, I did one video where at the time I had, I think it was like 20 or 25 bamboos, and I lined them all up and I showed the variability of all the different bamboo hatchlings. That was pretty interesting to see the variability. And kind of the other thing that I thought was interesting, that maybe one hatchling out of maybe, I'd say maybe 20, 25 or so, the one of his hatchlings was actually a really dark bamboo. Just once in a while he'll throw a really dark bamboo instead of the really high white. Usually the bamboo is the kind of the cool thing I like about Bobby is he's really bright with a really high contrast, a lot more brighter than pretty much any other bamboo line that I've ever seen. But every now and then he'll actually throw a dark bamboo. And I've always wondered on those people that actually bought those dark bamboos, if you breed those to something else, do you get more dark or do you get kind of a random dark here and there with mostly the bright line of bamboo? It's kind of interesting with the genetics. I don't know if it's just kind of, one of those one-off things where it's just kind of a random kind of anomaly with just kind of one example of a dark, or if you actually start a whole new line with the dark version of the bamboo from that one hatchling. It'd be kind of interesting to follow up and check up on those. But anyway, that is Bobby. He is kind of just hanging out with me here in the reptile room, and we pretty much record videos every day. Pretty much, I guess we'd say we spend a couple hours together in front of the camera trying to get things right, trying to figure out what to say and keep everyone, kind of educated and entertained at the same time. And let me tell you, sometimes he gets into my glasses and kind of flips them off. That's the one thing he likes to do. Kind of messes up some of my videos, but other than that, he's pretty well behaved. As a matter of fact, when I first started with him, I tried to get him like in front of the camera, mostly, on this side of the camera, and I was trying to be kind of pestering him all the time. I don't think he liked that. And eventually I just pretty much let him do whatever he wants to do. Sometimes he's like out front, kind of just tickling my ear, and then sometimes he's like hanging out in back, just doing whatever, and I just pretty much let him do whatever I want, whatever he wants. And I don't know what he's doing now. Sometimes he kind of gets into trouble and I have to just stop and re-record because I don't know what he does. He does some of the craziest things. He's a pretty awesome snake. So that is Bobby. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.